to go to the bathroom. Can we go smoke a cigarette? I really need one. But first, let me take a selfie.
This is the age of the selfie, and the Nokia Lumia 735 is here to embrace it. A look at the phone's polycarbonate bodywork and you'd be forgiven for mistaking it for the seminal Windows phone, the Nokia Lumia 800. It's a bit bigger, but the tall, slim frame of the 735 looks and feels great in the hand. The curved edges blend nicely into the display, and if it wasn't for a small lip, you'd be forgiven for mistaking it for a unibody design, but the matte finish shell is removable, granting access to a battery, micro SD card slot and nano SIM tray. Although the glossy hardware controls don't include a shutter key, the centrally positioned micro USB port at the base, rear camera and headphone jack on the top all work with the rest of the 735's body to create an elegant looking handset with balance and symmetry. For a well-priced mid-ranger, the Lumia 735 packs an exceptional screen, particularly with regards to the deep blacks that help blur the boundary of the display and the bezel. It's made all the more impressive thanks to some excellent whites, particularly for an OLED, not to mention viewing angles that make even Apple's new iPhones blush. At 4.7 inches, the 720p HD resolution is enough to offer up crisp imagery and dress it in bright, punchy colours. Nokias are often missed when praising phones with great screens, but assuming you're not after a Full HD experience, this is a seriously good display. The Lumia Denim update makes its debut on the 735, offering the latest revision of Microsoft's Windows Phone experience. It affords you things like live folders to organise multiple apps under a single tile, and it hosts the first tea-drinking, fish and chip-eating version of the Cortana voice assistant tailored for us Brits. Office apps for business and productivity, free music streaming from Nokia's Mix Radio, and the helpful MSN app suite for everything from sport to travel to health and fitness means that it's extremely well stocked out the box. One small love or hate addition in the 735 is the switch to on-screen navigation keys. Like Android, the back, home and search buttons disappear in certain situations and can be recalled with a swipe from the edge of the display. Dropping below the 800 series in the Lumia family firmly entrenches you in the mid-range category, and whilst user experience is impressively slick on the 735, the hardware powering it is relatively modest. A 1.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 400 chip and 1 GB of RAM offer up a fluid experience for the most part, including 3D gaming. Whilst you can't call the experience laggy, you may notice waiting times for things like opening select apps, multitasking, and processing freshly snapped photos and video. None of these shortcomings are deal breakers. Storage is limited too, leaving you around 3 GB of the total 8 GB internally. That said, Microsoft bundles on 15 GB of cloud storage in the form of OneDrive, and the micro SD slot, concealed under the 2220 mAh battery, can impressively take cards of up to 128 GB in size. The hardware powering it is relatively modest. The generous battery capacity gives you excellent 2-day battery life, and although some might not appreciate the bulkier 9mm thick bodywork, it houses 4G, NFC and key wireless charging too, premium features that somehow squeeze their way into the 735 without adding cost. Regarding the cameras, the rear snapper is the more conventional part of the story. A 6.7 megapixel autofocus sensor with an impressive f1.9 aperture and a single LED flash. It takes nice photos, nothing to write home about, but in most conditions expect good colours and contrast even on bright cloudy days. Detail and noise go up and down respectively when you zoom in, but if you stick with the image the phone captures without zooming, you'll be pleased with the results 9 times out of 10. Thanks to the Nokia camera app, you get manual control for elements like focus, white balance, exposure and ISO too. Now onto the star of the show, the front-facing 5 megapixel camera. The resolution alone should hint at this phone's selfie capabilities, but Nokia went further than that, giving it a wide-angle lens and a decent f2.4 aperture as well. The hardware is paired with the new Lumia Selfie app, which offers simple execution with impressive results. In preview, shots look mediocre at best, especially when placed alongside the likes of the iPhone 6's FaceTime HD snapper, but the post-processing work completely transforms your face with more natural skin tones, excellent contrast and surprisingly good detail. The app also lets you swipe through more subtle and extreme variations on your face, as well as offering a set of somewhat strange tools for whitening teeth and enlarging your eyes. Should the 5 megapixel images not wow you for some reason, the Lumia Selfie app can also direct you using beeps to get your face front and center using the larger rear camera. It's almost as if billing the Lumia 735 as a selfie phone does it a disservice. There's no denying that it's one of the most competent devices in the space for this sort of thing, but it can do and offer a lot more, especially for just £220 SIM-free. We think the Lumia 735 covers all the important bases and has more than enough to offer most discerning smartphone users. For a more in-depth review of the Nokia Lumia 735, don't forget to check out recombo.com/mobile. So what do you think it'll be? Business or pleasure? You can see that they share the same blood, but the 930 is strong, sturdy,